Hello everyone. So today we are going to study the Trans Himalayas, which form the northernmost part of the Himalayan mountain system. The term Trans Himalaya literally means beyond the Himalayas, and this region lies to the north of Greater Himalayas, which is also known as Himadri. Geographically, Trans Himalaya region extend across Ladakh, northern part of Jammu and Kashmir, and in Tibetan region. It lies between the main Himalayas in the south. तो इसके south में जो है it is Himadri, and in the northern part there is a vast Tibetan plateau. This positioning makes it a very unique and distinct physiographic division. Now, when we talk about the structure of Trans Himalayas, it is not a single range but a system of several important ranges, and the most prominent among them is the Karakoram range, which is one of the highest and most rugged mountain ranges in the world. And this range is known for its extreme relief, sharp peaks, and extensive glaciation, and in fact it contains some of the largest glacier outside the polar regions. South of the Karakoram lies the Ladakh range, which is comparatively lower in elevation but still very significant. This region is dry, rocky, and largely barren. Further south, we have Yamskar range, which acts as a transitional zone between Trans Himalayas and the Greater Himalayas. And another important range is the Kailash range, located in the Tibet, which holds both geographical and cultural importance. If we talk about the important peaks of this region, the most famous one is the K2, also known as Godwin Austen, which is the second highest peak in the world. And along K2 peaks like Saltaro Kangri, Nunkun are also significant. Rakaposhi, Gasherbam are some of the significant peaks of Trans Himalayas. One of the most remarkable feature of the Trans Himalayas is the presence of large glaciers, the Siachen Glacier. It is located somewhere here. It is the Siachen Glacier, which is located in the Karakoram range and is one of the longest glacier outside the polar regions. And these glaciers act as important source of fresh water, and they play a key role in feeding river. Also, Siachen Glacier is the origin of Nubra River, which is the tributary of Indus. And also, Operation Meghdoot happened on 13th April 1984 in the Siachen Glacier. It is the largest battlefield of the world, right? So, highest battlefield of the world. Now, just understand the climate of this region. So, the Trans Himalayas experience an extremely cold and dry climate. And due to their location in the rain shadow area of the Greater Himalayas, they receive very little rainfall. As a result, this region is often described as a cold desert, with Ladakh being a classical example. The temperature remains low for most of the year, and the region experience harsh climatic condition. Because of the extreme climate, the vegetation in the Trans Himalayas is very sparse. You will not find dense forest here. Instead, the vegetation is limited to small shrubs, grasses, and mosses. However, despite the harsh condition, the region supports unique wildlife. Animals such as yak, snow leopard, and ibex are specially adapted to survive in this cold and high altitude environment. From a geological point of view, the Trans Himalayas are extremely important. The rocks found here are mainly sedimentary rocks of marine origin, and they contain fossils of aquatic organisms. This provides strong evidence that this region was once covered by the ancient Tethys Sea over million millions of years, sediments were deposited in the sea, and later, due to tectonic movement, the upliftment, these sediments were raised to form the present mountain ranges. Another important characteristic of the Trans Himalaya is their high altitude and rugged terrain. The air here is thin due to low oxygen level, which makes human habitation difficult, and the region is sparsely populated and remain relatively isolated. So, in terms of importance, the Trans Himalayas hold great strategic value because they lie along the international border. Also, they serve as a major source of glaciers and fresh water. Moreover, the geological structure provides valuable information about the Earth's past, especially about the existence of ancient sea and plate movement. Right? So, this was all about Trans Himalayas. Trans Himalayas have major ranges, which is Karakoram, Karakoram range, Ladakh range, Yanskar range, and also the Kailash range. And very important thing is the Indus River originated from Tibet, flows between Ladakh and Yanskar range. ठीक है जी. So this was all about the Trans Himalayas. Now let's move towards the Greater Himalayas. So the Greater Himalayas are also known as Himadri, which form the most important prominent part of the Himalayan mountain system. The Greater Himalayas lies immediately south of the Trans Himalayas. ठीक है, हमने यहाँ पे पढ़े थे विच इज काराकोरम, लद्दाख, यांस्कर. तो ये जो ट्रांस हिमालयास है, इसके डायरेक्टली साउथ में हमें क्या देखने को मिलेगा? ग्रेटर हिमालयास. Right. So the Greater Himalayas represent the highest, most continuous, and most rugged range of the entire Himalayan chain. This range extends from west to east, from Indus River to Brahmaputra River. Indus River is in western side and Brahmaputra River is in eastern side. So one of the most striking feature of the Greater Himalayas is their elevation. The average height of this range is around 6,000 meter, and many peaks rise well above this level, making it one of the highest mountain system in the world. So these mountains are permanently covered with snow, which is why they are often referred as abode of snow. Right, some of the most famous highest peak of India and the world are located in this range, such as if we talk about the westernmost range is the Nanga Parvat. Then comes the ranges in Uttarakhand, is the Kamet range, Bandarpunch range, Kedarnath. We talk about Badrinath, Nanda Devi, Trishul. These are the mountain peaks of Greater Himalayas that are located in the Uttarakhand. Now, if we talk about Nepal, so we have Dholagiri, then is the Annapurna, Mansalu, Gauri Shikhar, the Mount Everest, highest peak of the world, Makalu, and in Sikkim we see the Kanchenjunga. ठीक है जी. Kanchenjunga and Arunachal Pradesh की अगर हम बात करें, we have Kangto and Namcha Bharwa, the easternmost range of the middle Himalayas. तो अगर हम तिब्बत एरिया में भी देखेंगे तो we have Shisha Pangma, Choyu and Lhotse. So these are some important peaks of Greater Himalayas. So these peaks are characterized by steep slopes, sharp ridges, and deep valleys, indicating active geological processes. The Greater Himalayas are also known for their extensive glaciation. A large number of glaciers originate in this region, which act as a primary source of perennial river. Important glaciers such as Gangotri Glacier, which is an origin of Ganga River, and Yamnotri Glacier, which is an origin of Yamuna River, and these glaciers ensures a continuous supply of water throughout the year, making the river perennial and highly significant for agriculture, drinking water, and hydropower generation. Another important characteristic of Greater Himalayas is that they act as a major water divide. Rivers originating from this range flow in different direction depending upon the slopes of the land, and some river flows southward into the Indian plains while other flows northward towards the Tibetan region, and this makes the Himadri a crucial hydrological boundary. So from geological perspective, the greater Himalayas are composed of ancient crystalline they are composed of ancient crystalline and metamorphic rocks, including the Archean rocks, and these rocks have undergone intense pressure and temperature changes over millions of years, which explains their hardness and resistance. And the presence of such rocks indicates that this region has experienced significant tectonic activity during its formation. So climatically अगर हम बात करें तो greater Himalayas experience extremely harsh climate. The high altitude result in very low temperature and heavy snowfall is common, especially during winters, and because of this vegetation is very limited at higher altitude. And with uh, and because of this vegetation is very limited at higher altitude, and with only alpine vegetation, we are going to see the alpine vegetation in this region. Human settlement is also very sparse due to the difficult living condition. And in terms of significance, if we talk about the significance of greater Himalayas, so it plays a crucial role in shaping the environment and life of the Indian subcontinent. They act as a climatic barrier. They prevent cold winds from Central Asia and Central Asia from entering India and forcing the monsoon winds to shed their moisture. The southwest monsoon wind to shed their moisture, and therefore they influence the rainfall pattern. They also serve as a natural boundary, providing protection and defining the northern limits of the country. Moreover, the rivers originating from this region supports millions of people in the plains by providing water for irrigation and other purpose. Another interesting feature of the greater Himalaya is their continuity and stability. They compare to other ranges. Unlike the Shivaliks, which are relatively young and unstable, the Himadri forms a more compact and continuous mountainous wall. However, despite this stability, the region is still geologically active, and earthquakes are not uncommon in this area. So, the Greater Himalayas or Himadri represent the core and backbone of the Himalayan system. They are the highest, most continuous, and most significant range, and they are characterized by towering peaks, extensive glaciers, ancient rocks, and immense climate and hydrological importance. So, in the next lecture, we will move further uh, towards south, and we'll study the middle Himalayas. After that, we are going to study about Shivaliks, which are known for their forest valleys, hill stations. So, see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.